Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening, everyone. Last week we talked about five precepts. Five precepts as a universal laws, right? Universal laws. So I want to link with the idea of universal monarch, right? Universal monarch. So in Bali we call it Sakavati, we-turning monarch, right? So the king who has Saka means the wheel, the vehicle, or that has a wheel, right? And according to Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 70, 26, Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 129, especially 26, Sakavati Sihanara Sutta. So in that Sutta we can find the idea of the universal monarch, right? And he governed the whole world, not by weapon, through the righteous context, right? He occupied all the countries in the world, not by forcing the local kings through righteous context, right? So this is the idea of universal monarch. So after occupying all the countries on the planet, the universal monarch laid down 6 golden rules, right, for his local kings. And then if you look at this one, so we were linked with the 5 precepts. So he laid down 6 golden rules. Number 1 is you should not kill living beings, right? Don't kill any living beings in your countries, right? Number 2, you should not take what is not given. Shouldn't steal, right? Shouldn't steal. Number 2, you should not indulge in sexual misconduct. Kamesu Mechachara. Number 4, you should not speak falsehood. Shouldn't tell lie, right? Just tell the truth. Number 5, you should not take intoxicants. So if you look at the first 5, right? These are 5 precepts. For that reason, we always said that 5 precepts are the universal laws. And almost all the religions, they lay down all these 5 precepts, right? But of course, there is a slight variation of interpretation, right? Interpretation. But here, the last one is very important. Enjoy your possessions as before, right? If you own Singapore, you enjoy Singapore as before. If you own Malaysian, you govern Malaysia as before, right? But have to give tax to the king, right? So anyway, he used righteous context, right? It's very interesting, very interesting. So I think if you look at 2 sutta is more than enough. 1 sutta, Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 26, right? 26. So in that sutta, you also will find about future Buddha, Mitteya, right? Mitteya Buddha. And Digha Nikaya, Sutta number 26, right? So here, what I want to point out is the 5 precepts are universal laws, right? Even the universal monarch, so when they admonish his local kingdoms, so he laid down 5 precepts, plus enjoy your possession as before. Give me tax, of course, yeah? They have to give tax. Five precepts are the basic human laws formulated by our forefathers, right? Throughout the generation. They are not like commandments, especially in theistic religions, God-centered religions. So the commandments are laid down by a supreme being, right? The God. You have to do that. If you do that, you have to follow that. If you don't follow them, go down. Not go up, right? Just go down, right? So actually the 5 precepts are not like commandments. So it is very important to take note that the Buddha is not a lawgiver. If you break 5 precepts, he will punish you. The Buddha will not punish you, right? If you follow 5 precepts, the Buddha will not reward you. So actually, we are on our own karma. So the Buddha highlight that these are very important, right? 5 precepts are basic human laws, right? If you don't follow, right, you might go to hell, right? You might go to hell. Repeating, very, very important, right? You might go to hell, right? If you follow, the heavens are waiting, right? The heaven is waiting for you like this, right? So the Buddha is not a lawgiver. If you follow them, you will have a reward, right? Result of it. So if you break these 5 precepts, and you will suffer, even in this life, right? Even in this life. I think it's very important. So 5 precepts in Buddhism are not like commandments, right? So the Buddha just highlight, the Buddha just enlighten us. So these are very important, right? Not to break, to follow, right? To follow. For that reason, so we have a free will to follow them, right? You can decide whether you follow or you don't follow, it doesn't matter. But you are responsible for it, for your actions, right? You are responsible for your own actions. So this is the ideal karma, right? The ideal karma. I think no question, right? Quite clear. Because today we have to learn a lot. For that reason, I have to go. Today we are going to learn Uposatha Sutta in Golden Nikaya, chapter 3, Sutta number 70, page number 294. Page number 294, Uposatha. Anyone who have been heard of the word Uposatha? Anyone? This is the first time to hear the word Uposatha. Anyone? Everyone know it, right? Very good, very good. Everyone know the word Uposatha, right? It's good. Uposatha. In Sanskrit, upa was sata, right? Literally means living close to, right? Living close to, living next to, right? Buddhists observe precept and practice meditation on Uposatha days. But in our temple, full moon and new moon days, right? Full moon and new moon days are Uposatha days. So on that day, they will come and observe precept and attend puja, and so they chant Buddha knows Sati, etc. Right? These are meditation, right? These are meditations. So in this way, they live close to Hosandit, right? They live close to wholesome actions, kusala, right? Kusala. So you come to temple and observe precept, practice meditation. So in this way, on Uposatha days, so you live close to Hosandit, right? Hosandit. But the other day, you may not live close to Hosandit, right? So for that reason, it's important to know Uposatha days, right? As a Buddhist. So they are actually normally full moon and new moon days falls on other days, weekdays normally. So actually people make effort to come to temple. I think it's very important. This is a specialty for Buddhists, right? Christmas is a specialty for Christians, right? And Hari Raya is a specialty for Muslim, right? Just like that, Uposatha is a specialty for us, right? Specialty for us. So on those specialties, you live close to Hosandit. So that is called Uposatha, right? A very, very beautiful name. Buddhist Uposatha days. I mean, this is just for knowledge. Buddhists use lunar calendar to standardize their Uposatha days, right? We are not using Western calendars. We use lunar calendars, right? All the Buddhists, especially the ancient countries, right? Asian countries. So we use lunar calendars, right? Most Asian countries. How to standardize our Uposatha days? In man, the fast in man is divided into 4 parts, right? A month is divided into 4 parts. The first one, the first part, so that is the 8th day, right? 8th day is called 8th Wazin day. So this is the first Uposatha. Normally in our temple here, we observe only 2 Uposatha, right? But actually we have 4 Uposatha, right? 4 Uposatha day. So the first part, so that is the 8th day of the month, is called 8th Wazin day, right? 8th Wazin day. The second one, the second part, so that is a 15th day is called 15th Wazin day or full moon day, right? So the reason is the shape for the moon is increasing. For that reason, we call it Wazin, right? Wazin. So the shape of the moon appears rounder and larger, right? For that reason, we call it full moon day, right? Full moon day. Then number 3, the top part, 8th day or the second half of the month. So first you can divide 30 days, right? 30 days a month. So the first 8th day is called 8th Wazin day. And 15th day is called full moon day or Wazin day, right? 15th Wazin day. And the top part, 8th day or the second half of the month, is called 8th waning day, right? So the reason is the moon is waning, right? Is getting smaller and smaller, right? Smaller and smaller. For that reason, we call it 8th waning day, right? And the 4th part, so that is the last day of the month, is called 15th waning day or new moon day or half moon day, right? Half moon day, because the reason the moon has only half, right? Half shape, half shape. For that reason, we call it half moon day or new moon day. So in our temple, we call it full moon day, new moon day. So we observe only twice a month, right? But if you are able, you should observe 4 times a month. That is actually Uposatha, right? Actually Uposatha days. But in lunar calendar, every alternate month has only 29 days, right? Every alternate month has only 29 days. So for those months, so the last Uposatha is called 14th waning day, right? Chatodasi. 50th waning day is Panarasi, right? Panarasi. It is important for Buddhist monk. So when we are reciting Patimokkha in the Sima Hall, so we have to take note whether it is 50 or 40 waning days, right? Waning days. So these are Uposatha days in Buddhism. So we have 4 Uposatha days in a month, right? In a month. Any question? No question? Okay. Happy? Because I think you understand. But here, day and night, and east and west. This one also for knowledge, right? For knowledge, not very important. So there is, actually this is I copy from introduction of Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 131, Bhattikarata Sutta. Introduction of Sanisaro Bhikkhu. Actually, this sutta is very important. So this is the auspicious days, right? The name of the sutta is auspicious days. Actually, we have learned, when we are learning Sila, so we have learned one sutta called auspicious days, right? Auspicious days. So if you are doing good things with your body, speech and mind in the morning, auspicious morning, right? Good morning. So if you are doing wholesome deed, right? Good deed in the afternoon and in the evening, so it is called good afternoon, good evening. So if you are doing good things the whole day, so that is called auspicious days, right? Auspicious days. But this one, Majjhima Nikaya 131 is advanced level, right? Is the name of the sutta is auspicious days, but when you are living in the present moment, when you can live in the present moment, it is auspicious days, right? Now you are learning suttas. If you can live just in the present moment, right? Your mind is not going anywhere. That's auspicious, right? That's auspicious. It talk about meditation, right? Let's talk about meditation. Actually, when we are learning what is meditation, next year we will learn this sutta, right? So today I just want to introduce introduction of Sanisaro Bhikkhu, right? And he said that, so there is a tendency in Pali Canon to speak of a 24-hour period for day and night as a night, right? So actually, if Pali Canon say night, that means 24 hours, day and night, right? Day and night. The reason is Pali Canon use lunar calendar, right? So we count based on the course of the moon, right? The course of the moon. For that reason, so when we use the night, I will go to Malaysia one night, right? One night trip. So that means 24 hours. Not only night, but also the day as well, right? I think most of the Asian countries, so we use one night, right? So I will go to our holiday trip, 4-night trip, 7-night trip like this, right? We use the night. The reason is we calculate based on the course of the moon, right? Based on lunar calendar. For that reason, we use the night, right? That means even though we're talking about night, it indicates 24 hours, right? Day and night. Just as it is natural for us using a solar calendar to call the same period for time a day. In the West, especially days in a month, right? In a month. Any question? No question? Okay. Happy? Because I think you understand. But here, day and night, and east and west. This one also for knowledge, right? For knowledge, not very important. So there is, actually this is I copy from introduction of Majjhima Nikaya, Sutta number 131, Bhattikarata Sutta. Introduction of Sannisaro Bhikkhu. Actually, this sutta is very important. So this is the auspicious days, right? The name of the sutta is auspicious days. Actually, we have learned, when we are learning Sila, so we have learned one sutta called auspicious days, right? Auspicious days. So if you are doing good things with your body, speech and mind in the morning, auspicious morning, right? Good morning. So if you are doing wholesome deed, right? Good deed in the afternoon and in the evening, so it is called good afternoon, good evening. So if you are doing good things the whole day, so that is called auspicious days, right? Auspicious days. But this one, Majjhima Nikaya 131 is advanced level, right? Is the name of the sutta is auspicious days, but when you are living in the present moment, when you can live in the present moment, it is auspicious days, right? Now you are learning suttas. If you can live just in the present moment, right? Your mind is not going anywhere. That's auspicious, right? That's auspicious. It talk about meditation, right? It's talk about meditation. Actually, when we are learning what is meditation, next year we will learn this sutta, right? So today I just want to introduce introduction of Sannisaro Bhikkhu, right? And he said that, so there is a tendency in Pali Canon to speak of a 24-hour period for day and night as a night, right? So actually, if Pali Canon say night, that means 24 hours, day and night, right? Day and night. The reason is Pali Canon use lunar calendar, right? So we count based on the course of the moon, right? The course of the moon. For that reason, so when we use the night, I will go to Malaysia one night, right? One night trip. So that means 24 hours. Not only night, but also the day as well, right? I think most of the Asian countries, so we use one night, right? So I will go to, I will go holiday trip, 4-night trip, 7-night trip like this, right? We use the night. The reason is we calculate based on the course of the moon, right? Based on lunar calendar. For that reason, we use the night, right? That means even though we're talking about night, it indicates 24 hours, right? Day and night. Just as it is natural for us using a solar calendar to call the same period for time a day. In the West, especially, they calculate their calendar based on sun, right? Based on sun. For that reason, so when they say day, that means 24 hours, day and night, right? So according to Western people, so we can say that I will go holiday trip, 4-day trip, right? 7-day trip like this, right? So this is a East and West, right? Different. just for knowledge, right? But this knowledge is very important. So when you are learning this sutta, Bhattikarata Sutta, if you do not understand this, this one, you will not be able to translate the meaning of the sutta, right? For that reason, many translators, they mistakenly translated this one, Bhattikarata Sutta, right? So even Bhikkhu Bodhi, so he have to change, right? So earlier he translate wrongly. So Sanisara Bhikkhu suggested him this is a wrong interpretation. For that reason, he changed how to say auspicities, right? Auspicities. Okay, so that's for knowledge. Then regarding with the Bodhis Uposatha Day, so at the time of the Buddha, not only the Bodhis but also the follower of other religion as well. So they have a special days. So on those special days, they go to their temples and monasteries, and they will listen the Dhamma, right? But in the Buddhist temple, people normally, if they wish, they will camp, right? No special days. Of course, there is a special days, but people, they do not devote their time on that particular day, right? For that reason, King Bimbisara requested the Buddha to allow the monks to teach the Dhamma on that Uposatha days, right? So people will come to the temple and the monks teach the Dhamma. So in this way, so they have a chance to devote their time, right, at the temple and monasteries. So this is one of the interesting informations regarding with the Uposatha day. But here, the point here is, we also, the lay devotees also come to temple, right? Every full moon and new moon day. So I think if you are free, I think it's very, very good, very good to make a habit, right? If you come to temple, at least you'll be very happy, right? You'll be very happy. It's totally different with the home, right? With the home, people will not show their problem, right? So when they see you at the temple, they will smile you and they will say quietly, right? They will not make any problem, right? I think it's very important, right? So if you come to temple and you will have a peaceful atmosphere, right? Peaceful atmosphere. So that is a this is a good point out, right? Come to temple. Then for the Buddhist monks, so the Buddha laid down a rule. So every full moon and new moon days, the monks have to recite Patimokkha. So Patimokkha is the rules and regulations laid down by the Buddha for monks and nuns, right? So they have to gather at the Sima Hall, have to recite rules and regulations, right? Normally, one monk was appointed to recite Patimokkha, and the other monks have to listen quietly, right? Pay attention to what he's chanting, right? So that is called Patimokkha day, right? Patimokkha day. So before this rule was laid down, the Buddha himself will sit down and give a instruction to the monks, right? So as a Buddhist monk, you should do that, you shouldn't do that, right? Like this. Okay, let's go to the suttas. In this sutta, the Buddha encourages Visakha to observe 8 precepts. Now 8 precepts, not 5 precepts, right? Not 5 precepts. So the Buddha encourages Visakha to observe 8 precepts on Uposatha day. So the main purpose of observing 8 precepts is purifying our defiled mind, right? So there may be a lot of defilements in your mind. So you come to temple on Uposatha days and you observe precept, right? 8 precepts. So in this way, you can beautify your mind, right? You can beautify your mind. not to do any evil, to do good deed, and purify one's mind, right? One's mind. So this is the teachings of the Buddha. So actually the main purpose of observing precept is to purify your mind, right? To purify your defilements in your mind. So by recollecting the quality of the Buddha, so you can dwell together with the Buddha. But actually the Suttas use the word Brahma, right? Brahma. Actually the Brahma is nothing but the Buddha, right? So if you are recollecting, normally not full moon, new moon day. Here in our temple we have a Sunday, right? Sunday, and people gather here and they chant the quality of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So if you are recollecting the quality of the Buddha, so you are living together with the Buddha, right? So if you are recollecting the quality of the Dhamma, you are living with the Dhamma. You are living close to the Dhamma, right? If you are recollecting the quality of the Buddha, you are living close to the Buddha. That is called Uposatha, right? Uposatha. So by right, if you are recollecting the quality of the Buddha anytime, right? Anywhere, any day, it is Uposatha for you, right? It is Uposatha for you. Any day will be Uposatha if you are recollecting, right? The quality of the triple gem, right? The quality of the triple gem. Then this is what the Buddha taught. Actually, I'm not explaining the whole suttas, right? Actually, no time to. so sorry that we have only 1 more week left, so we have to finish this topic. So not much time. So in this sutta, the Buddha talk about 3 types of Uposatha, right? Number 1, just like a cow heart, right? Uposatha. Cow heart, and he will feed his cows in the field, right? Then after come back, he drive those cows to his owner. The next day, he will think, which place I should go tomorrow, right? Like this. Sometimes, if people are observing Uposatha, they are thinking, today I eat such type of food. Today after observing a precept, not allowed to eat dinner, right? Not allowed to eat food. I'm very hungry. Tomorrow I will eat such a food. Like this, right? So you are thinking about food. Just like a cow heart, right? Cow heart. So the Buddha said that such type of Uposatha also no good, right? No good. But I think that here in Singapore, we don't have a such tradition. In Buddhist countries, just like Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and Thailand, so the people normally come to temple and they observe a precept and they will have lunch at the temple. Then afternoon, not allowed to eat anything, right? So they spend their day at the temple and they listen the Dhamma and they discuss the Dhamma and they meditate, right? The whole day, they live close to wholesome deed, right? Kusala. So that is the meaning of Uposatha, right? Normally here, people will come to temple, observe precept, attend puja, go back. At least, of course, they will be able to live close to wholesome deed for maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. Then after that, they'll be living close to unwholesome deed. So I think that if you can stay in the temple as long as you can, right? I think that will be more meaningful, right? More meaningful. Normally here, you observe only 5 precepts, right? Only 5 precepts. But here, the Buddha is suggesting to observe 8 precepts, right? 8 precepts. Because this is a special day, right? This is a special day and Uposatha days. So I think here the Buddha said that the noble disciples Visakha reflect this. Page number 298. Page number 298, the last paragraph. The last paragraph. This noble disciple Visakha reflect this. As long as they live, the arahants abandon and abstain from distraction of life, with the rod and weapon laid aside, conscientious and kindly, they dwell compassionate toward all living beings. Arahants, right? As long as they live, they are not killing any living beings. Today, Uposatha day, right? Today, for this night and day, I too shall abandon and abstain from distraction of life, with the rod and weapon laid aside, conscientious and kindly. I too shall dwell compassionate toward all living beings. I shall imitate the arahants, right? I shall imitate the arahants in this respect, right? And the Uposatha will be observed by me, right? Uposatha will be observed by me. And here, I shall imitate the arahant, right? For that reason, last week I talked a Dhamma talk in Buddhist Fellowship. The title is Imitating an Arahant. Living like an Arahant. Living like an Arahant. Because Arahant, as long as they live, Arahant do not care, right? So they live compassionate toward all living beings, right? So you can also imitate, and you can also live like an arahant, right? If you are refraining from killing, if you are not using rod and weapons, right? If you dwell compassionate toward all living beings on this particular day, right? Maybe for you Sunday or full moon or new moon days, like this, right? So if you are living like this, if you can live 1 minute, you will be like an arahant, 1 minute, right? If you can live 10 minutes, 10 minutes like arahant, right? Actually, it's very important. So this sutta is very important. You can imitate. You can live like an arahant. You can live like the Buddha, right? The Buddhas. So I think it's very important. Actually, normally we talk about Kriya Cheda, functional consciousness in Abhidhamma, right? Normally, the actions of the normal people is called karma, right? So we are own our own karma. Normally we do wholesome karma and unwholesome karma, right? So wholesome karma is motivated by alobha, adosa, amoha. Unwholesome karmas are rooted in lobha, dosa, moha, right? But the action and the activities of arahants, right? The action of arahant and the Buddha are not called karma because they are not motivated by lobha, dosa, moha, right? So their actions are motivated by compassion, loving kindness, wisdom, right? For that reason, so their actions are not called karma, right? Not called karma. So if we can live like this, right? If our actions are motivated by compassion, pure compassion, right? And pure loving kindness and pure wisdom. So you will be like an arahant, right? So in this way, you can imitate. So actually here in this sutta, so the Buddha is suggesting that so we can imitate, right? The arahant for 1 day, right? Especially Uposatha day. So in this way, So you can purify your mind, right? You can purify your mind. So here, cleansing the defiled mind. So this is what the Sutta said. When a noble disciple recollect the Tathagata, here Tathagata means the Buddha, right? His mind becomes placid, and joy arises, and the defilement of the mind abandoned. In the same way that when dirty is cleansed by exertion. So if your head is dirty, so you can purify your head, right? With the soap, with the water, just like that. So we can purify our defilements, and by recollecting the quality of the Buddha, right? Quality of the Buddha. So this is called a noble disciple who observe the Uposatha of Brahma. Brahma Uposatha, who dwells together with the Brahma. Here, Brahma is the Buddha, referring to the Buddha, right? So if you are recollecting the quality of the Buddha, by that moment, there is no defilements in your mind, right? So you are dwelling together with the Buddha, right? Together with the Buddha. In other words, you are living close to the Buddha. That is called Uposatha, right? Uposatha. Any moment, so if you are living close to wholesome deed, wholesome actions, so that is called Uposatha, right? That's called Uposatha. So actually in this Sutta, the Buddha talk about 6 recollections. Number 1, the recollection of the Buddha. So actually we are not going in detail because these are under meditation, right? So we have 6 recollections. So when we are learning meditations, so by that time we will go in detail, right? How to recollect the quality of the Buddha, right? Before and after. So here we have 6 quality of the Buddha, recollection of the Buddha, Buddha knows sati, the recollection of the Dhamma, Dhamma knows sati, Sakkhato Bhagavata Dhammo, right? The recollection of the Sangha, Sopatipano Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, like this, right? So we have 9 quality of the Sangha, and 9 quality of the Buddha, and 6 quality of the Dhamma. So if you are recollecting the quality of the Dhamma, so you are dwelling together with the Dhamma, right? So if you are recollecting the quality of the Sangha, you are dwelling together with the Sangha, right? So I think we can talk about how to live with the Buddha. So that means you just recollect, right? Not only chanting, right? Of course, chanting is about recollecting. So if you are just chanting by looking at the projector, and if your mind is thinking other things, no, that's not a Buddha knows sati, right? So you have to live, right? You have to dwell, together with the Buddha. That means by that time you have to focus all your attentions, right, to the quality of the Buddha. Number 4, the recollection of one's own virtue. Actually, we have our sila, right? Our virtual behavior, our sila. So we have to recollect, right? So flawless, right? Unbroken virtual behavior, right? Of course, sometimes our virtual behavior may not be flawless. Sometimes be broken, but it doesn't matter here. You just recollect you are flawless virtual behavior, flawless sila, right? Number 5, the recollection of one's own generosity, right? So actually, you have a lot of generosity to give away what you have, right? So you have to recollect Actually, you don't. If you recollect that quality, this is the quality of the mind, right? Not the thing you give away. So you can recollect, you can remember your generosity when you are giving away, right? So this is a very, very high, higher value. So you can recollect your own generosity, chakanosity, and the last one is the recollection of the quality that deities possess, right? The devas in the Chatumara Tawadesa, Yama, Tusita, Nimanarati, Pranamida Vasavati, right? So the devas in the six heavenly realms, so because of the good qualities, so they were born there. You also have such qualities in your mind, right? So you can recollect that qualities, right? If you don't have those qualities, trying to develop and trying to increase, right? Then after that you can recollect your own qualities, right? Your own qualities. So these are 6 recollections that mention, especially in Mahanama Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 6, Sutta number 10, right? Sutta number 10. For those who want to learn more, and you can go to Visuddhimagga, chapter 7, right? Chapter 7. So all the details are mentioned, how you can recollect, right? The method, how to do it, right? How to do it. But in this Sutta, in Uposatha Sutta, so when recollection is omitted, right? I don't know why. When recollection is omitted. For that reason, I take it from chapter 6, Sutta number 10, right? So here, the point here is, if you are recollecting your own generosity, so you are dwelling together with the dana, right? Chaga. So if you are recollecting the quality of the deities, so you are dwelling together with the devas, right? Together with the devas. So if you are recollecting the quality of the virtual behavior, so you are living together with the sila, right? So that is how we purify our mind, right? The moment you are recollecting these qualities, so your mind is pure, right? No defilements in your mind. So in this way, so we can clear our mind, defilements, right? Defilements. Any question up to here? Okay, question? Please use microphone.
Bhante, I would like to know what is the qualities of the deities?
Very, very good. I think it is mentioned in the book. It is mentioned in the Suttas, page number 298. Please see the Uposatha Sutta, page number 298. Second paragraph. So here, you can look at the defined mind Visakha is cleansed by exhaustion. And how is the defined mind cleansed by exhaustion? Here Visakha in Upadisaipe recollect the deity thus. So there are devas ruled by the great 4 kings. Actually, it talk about 6 heavenly realms, right? 6 heavenly realms. So they have those qualities. Then I too have such faith, saddha in Bali, faith in the triple gem, right? Faith in the triple gem. And second one is virtual behavior. You have a sila, right? As a lay devotees, you have a 5 precepts, right? And second one is learning. Learning the Dhamma. Here, the Dhamma means not talk about the Dhamma in Buddhism. That just here, learning what is good, what is bad, right? What is good and what is bad. But here, you are learning the Dhamma. That's also we can also call, sutta, learning. Another one is generosity, right? So here, generosity is not normal dana. So when you give away freely without any attachment, right? Generosity. This is also one of the quality. And the last one is a wisdom. That's very important. The wisdom is as I earlier said, that knowing what is good, what is bad, knowing what is wrong and what is right, right? So that is the wisdom. But especially here, wisdom refers to knowing good and bad, and right and wrong, right? Right and wrong. So these are 5 qualities. Okay. The quality of the devas, because of those qualities, they were born in the heavenly realms, right?
Bhante, the qualities of the devas that you just mentioned, we can also say the Brahma Vihara, which the qualities of the devas which you just mentioned, the faith and triple gem, generosity, wisdom, etc. We can also say the qualities of the devas are the 4 Brahma Viharas.
Oh, this is not.
Can we say that?
Actually, it's the quality of the Brahma, not the Deva. Here, I think when we are talking about Devas, 2 types of Deva,
Lower.
2 levels of Deva.
Lower.
The Devas in the 6 heavenly realms who enjoy sensual pleasures with their senses. Another type of Deva is called Brahma, who do not enjoy sensual pleasures, who enjoy the bliss of meditation. For those who are practicing 4 Brahma Vihara, loving kindness, compassion, altruistic joy, equanimity, for those who are practicing those 4 Brahma Vihara, they will become the Brahma, right? So they are higher devas.
Right, so the qualities of the
But
4
here is only the deva
lower.
and the 6 lower, 6 heavenly realms.
So the 4 Brahma Viharas are actually higher.
Higher, yeah.
Okay. I think that's what we should aspire to.
Okay, good. For those who want to know 4 Brahma Vihara, you can read Kalama Sutta, right? Actually, Kalama Sutta focus Buddhist way of life, right? How to lead our life. Eventually, the Buddha suggests that try not to do something with the lobha, dosa, moha. Try to do something alobha, adosa, amoha. Then eventually you live with the 4 Brahma Vihara, right? So there will be no regret, no remorse in your life. If there is afterlife, you have a good rebirth. If there is no afterlife, you can live this life meaningfully, blamelessly, right? So that is the message of the Kalama Sutta, right? Okay, so here the recollection of the quality of Devami. So these are the Deva from 6 heavenly realms, right? So if you have those 5 qualities, and you can have a rebirth in the 6 heavenly realms, right? Okay, so after talking about 6 recollections, the Buddha talked about 8 precepts in this sutta. So the main message from this sutta is a precept, and 6 recollection, and also a precept. 2 parts, right? 2 parts. According to verses mentioned in this sutta, so at the end of the sutta, we have some verses, right? So you can read some verses, page number 302. According to those verses, observing a precept is called Atthengupasata Sutta. Atthengupasata. Atthengupasata. So that means Upasata that has 8 factors, right? So when we translate simply, That is a precept, right? A precept. Number 1, I undertake the precept to abstain from distraction of life. Page number 298, right? 298. Panatipata Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. We are always chanting, right? Always reciting. I don't know you know the meaning. Huh? So this is what we are chanting all the time, right? We are all the time. So that means I undertake, right? I keep the precept to abstain from distraction of life, right? Actually, this is just a part of precept. Earlier, I have chanted this one. Page number 298, the last paragraph. This noble disciple Visakha reflect this. As long as they live, the arahants abandon and abstain from distraction of life. So that's just a part of one part, right? Not only that, with the rod and weapon laid aside, not allowed to use any weapon, right? Not allowed to use any stick, anything, right? Conscientious and kindly. You have to be very kind toward all beings, right? Not only human beings, not only your families, other living beings as well, right? And they dwell compassionate toward all living beings. You have to dwell compassionate toward all living beings, right? So that's very important. Today, Uposatha day, right? We're talking about Uposatha. Today, for this night and day, I too shall abandon and abstain from distraction of life. With the rod and weapon laid aside, conscientious and kindly, and I too shall dwell compassionate toward all living beings. I shall imitate the arahants in this respect. Regarding with the killing, right? The Uposatha will be observed by me, right? So in this way, you observe your Uposatha, right? Uposatha. So the first one, the first precept, right? We have learned everything, right? We don't need to repeat again a bit here. Number 2, I undertake the precept to abstain from taking what is not given. That is what we have learned. Arinadana. Number 3, I undertake the precept to abstain from sexual activity. Abrahmacharya. That's not sexual misconduct, right? You refrain from any type of sexual relationship, right? Not even touching. You don't have to touch, right? Your lover or your spouse, not allowed to touch. You have to stay just like a monk, right? Uposatha, right? Uposatha. Because you observe Uposatha. That's very important. Not sexual misconduct. Sexual misconduct, you can have sexual relationship with your spouse, with your lover. But here, if you are taking a precept, not allow any sexual relationship, right? That's very important. Abrahmacharya Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Number 4, I undertake the precept to abstain from false speech, right? False speech, not tell lie, musavara. Number 5, I undertake the precept to abstain from liquor, wine, and intoxicants. So the basis of heedlessness. Actually, that is what we are learning. Sura Mediya Majapamadatana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Actually, if you are comparing regarding with the telling line, right? Actually, the Pali is slightly different, right? Telling line, regarding with the telling line, the paragraph that mentioned in the Chona Sutta, the paragraph that mentioned here, slightly different. But this one is stricter, more stricter, right? Not only telling lie, you have to keep all your promise. Suppose today you promise to do something, right? You have to keep that promise, like this, right? You have to be very firm what you have said, right? So these are slightly different. Actually, when we in previous lessons we have learned all these one, right? We have learned all these one. So number 5 is not to drink, right? Not to drink. So we have learned all these one. Number 6, I undertake the precept to abstain from taking food at improper time. So that means afternoon you are not allowed to eat, right? Afternoon, so you have to look at the sun, right? So actually Singapore is I think 30 minutes earlier at your time. Normally in Buddhist, according to Buddhist scriptures, we have to look at the sun on our head, right? So if the sun moves to west side, right? West direction, that is called afternoon, right? Not depends on the clock, right? Look at what is it? Look at time, right? Not depends on the local time. So we have to look at the sun, right? And also in the morning, and we have to look at the dawn, right? So based on that, we have to decide. Even one country, the time is not exact, right? Sometimes the dawn came earlier, sometimes late, right? So depending on the sun, we have to decide, right? But here, afternoon means if the sun moves to west direction, right, in your head, so that is afternoon. Then afternoon, not allowed to eat any solid food, right? Any solid food. Some are very strict. Yesterday, one of the Burmese men visit our temple, and we went to offer green tea, Chinese tea. But he said, no, just offer normal water, because some monks, they even do not take Chinese tea, right? Very, very strict. So afternoon, they are not allowed to. They were refrain from it, refrain from that, right? So the reason is sometimes they're very strict because they look at commentary explanations, right? Commentary explanations. Sometimes certain rules are not very strict. If we look at the Pali Canon, Vinaya Pitaka. So if you read the Vinaya commentaries, very strict. There is no place to stay as a Buddhist monk. For that reason, in our how to say, as a Buddhist monk, we are always saying that if you do not break the Vinaya rules, you are not a real Buddhist monk. There's no footing. One way or another, I want to say the commentary explanation are very strict, right? Very strict. But some of the monks are just like a Pao Siaro, so they strictly follow the Vinaya rules, just like Ajahn Chah, strictly follow. So there's no bargain, right? One time, one of the wisdom monks taught to Ajahn Chah, and it is not possible not to handle the money. So if we are going alone, right? There's no kapia. Ajahn just said that no, go. You are not allowed to stay here. No bargain, right? Very strict. And he gave an excuse, right? Excuse. If we are going alone, no kapias, we have to handle the money, right? But Ajahn just said that no, go. You are not allowed to stay here, right? So some monks are very strict, right? Very strict. My teacher also do not drink Chinese tea afternoon. So actually, they are, such monks are very rare. Very lucky that I learned under my great master for 4 years. So we learn by looking at his behavior, right? And the way he treat the people, and very strict, very strict. Okay, so here, abstaining from taking food at afternoon improper time. Later, I will come back to this precept, right? The next one, I undertake the precept to abstain from dancing, not allowed to dance, singing, instrumental music, any type of entertainments, unsuitable shows. As I actually here I have a mention one time, as a Buddhist monk, we are not allowed to see national parade, right? Not allowed. If we go there, we are breaking winter rules. Very strict. There is a one particular winter rules, right? Not allowed to see such one, right? So these are nothing to do with the monastic life, right? But here, music, right? Singing, instrumental music, unsuitable shows, and from adorning and beautifying themselves. You are not allowed to wear makeup. You are not allowed to wear stick, right? Lipstick like this, right? Not allowed to use makeup. By wearing garlands, not allowed to wear the garlands. Applying scents and unguents, not allowed to use perfume. Very strict, right? Very strict. So actually, if you see a simple monk, they don't wear anything. What we have only rope, right? You will not smell perfume. Huh? It should be the way, right? It should be the way. No watch, right? No jewelry, not allowed, right? So, I think that's very important, right? Very important. But here, even the garlands, not allowed, right? But one time, actually this winter rule was laid down by the Buddha, and one time, one devotee came with the garlands, and he went to offer to the monks. So the monks are the men are afraid to accept, right? Because the Buddha prohibited, right? Laid on the winter rules, and they report to the Buddha, and the Buddha said that you can accept them, and you can keep in your doorstep. Actually, auto compassion to the devotees, right? To the devotees. And accept it, not to use as a purifying yourself, and you can keep it somewhere else, right? Somewhere else. So this is if you are taking a precept in the Uposatha days, so you have to follow all these one, right? All these one. No dancing, no singing, right? No purifying yourself. These are very important, very important. The next one, I will come back later, right? I will come back. Next one, I undertake the precept to abstain from the use of hot and luxurious beds, right? Have to use a very simple one, right? Very simple one. So if you look at the suttas, you will see that sometimes the Buddha was, lying down on the grass, right? On the grass, using his rope. When the Buddha was striving for enlightenment, he was sitting on the grass, right? On the grass. So, a very simple. The Buddha lead a very simple light, right? Very simple light. One time, the Buddha was in the winter, very cold season. The Buddha was lying down. The Buddha was living in the underneath the tree, right? Using a very thin grass, right? Lying down. So early in the morning, Hataka, one of the great disciples of the Buddha, came and see that the Buddha was lying down, very cold season, right? The Buddha spent the whole night under the tree, right? Under the tree. And Hataka, he was, walking during the early morning. While he was walking, and he saw the Buddha. The Buddha, did you have a good sleep last night? The Buddha said that, yes, I did. I'm one of them who can sleep well, right? Who can sleep well. So in that particular sutta, the Buddha said that even though people are using luxurious bed, right? Actually, in that sutta, and I think I'm not wrong. Chapter 3, sutta number 35, a very beautiful sutta. In Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said that even though people are using luxurious bed, right, and high, more expensive one, so if they have a lot of greed, a lot of hatred, a lot of delusion, they will not be able to sleep well, right? So the Buddha already removed all these one, right? The Buddha do not have any greed, hatred, and delusion. For that reason, he is the one who can sleep well, right? It's a very beautiful sutta. But another one, I forgot the name of the sutta. This morning, the whole morning, I was finding out. I forgot to take note. So in that sutta, one of the Brahmin saw the Buddha. So the Buddha was sitting down underneath a tree and approached the Buddha and asked, right? In the winter, very, very cold, right? How long you stay here? And the Buddha said that, actually I can live happily, even happier than King Bimbisara. Even happier than King Bimbisara. King Bimbisara, he had a palace, a lot of luxuries, but he stayed, with the fear, right? Fear. For that reason, he cannot sleep well, right? So the Buddha said that he can sleep well, right? So the Buddha talk about based on the mental quality, right? Mental quality. But here, so I say for those who are keeping 8 precepts, so you are not allowed to use luxurious beds, right? So if you are using luxurious bed, and you better lying down using or the map, right? Using a simple map on the floor, right? So this is a precept, right? So you don't need to observe all every day, right? You don't need to observe every day. So you have to use special days. So your Uposatha day may be actual Uposatha days. Normally, so as a Singaporean, you have to walk, right? So you are free on Sunday, right? Sunday can be Uposatha day, right? So you can choose a special days to observe a precept, right? A precept. These are a precept. Then I will go one by one. Regarding with the refraining from eating, improper time, right? So this is from Samanyaphala Sutta, second Sutta of Digha Nikaya. The Buddha is talking the quality of the monks, right? The quality of the monks. He eat only one meal a day, right? Normally, the monks should eat only one meal a day, the monks, right? Because the reason is we are not using our energy so much, right? So we don't need much food. So if we eat one meal a day, it is enough, right? It is enough. There are many monks who are following this Vinaya rules. No, this is not a Vinaya rules. This is a instruction of the Buddha, not Vinaya rules. Not supposed to follow, but you can follow as the teachings of the Buddha, right? Teachings of the Buddha. He eats only one meal a day, ekapatika. But regarding with the ekapatika, commentary interpret ekapatika as one part of the day. That means from dawn to before noon, right? Dawn to before noon. So that means from morning to before 12 o'clock, you can eat as many as you can, as many as you want. According to commentary, as long as you are eating before 12 o'clock, before noon, so there's no timing, right? There's no timing. It is called ekapatika. But I think that it is I think it is not truth. It's not truth. Ekapatika here means just one meal a day, right? Eka means one. Patika means eating one time, right? Eating. That means eating only one time, right? One meal a day. For that reason, some of the monks, very few monks, I would say that, right? Very few monks, they are following these teachings of the Buddha, right? Teachings of the Buddha. Refraining from food at night, right? Not supposed to eat night time. And from eating at improper times. Here, improper time means afternoon, especially afternoon, right? Not allowed to eat as a monk. So if you are observing a precept, not allowed, right? In another place, and the Buddha said that eating at a single session. In Kakasubama Sutta, so the Sutta that we have learned, right? So when we are talking about the simile or saw, right? Simile or saw. In that Sutta, the Buddha said that bhikkhus, I eat at a single session. A single session. So that means the Buddha sit down for eating 9 o'clock, right? He will continue to eat, right? Then after stopping his eating, one session finished, right? It may take 10 minutes, it may take 30 minutes, or even it may take 1 hour, right? That's called one session, right? So after that, no eating at all, right? No eating at all. I think some monks are following, some monks are following this practice. So that means before noon, and you sit down, right? Then you eat, right? If you have an urgent case, halfway you may stop eating. Then, so on that day, no more eating at all, right? Because only one session, right? One session. So this is your determination, right? Determination. In this period, in one session, you will eat it, right? Whether you have enough food or not, right? That you will not eat it. So this is one of the practice that the very serious monks are following, right? Following. This is one of the very strict practice, right? Strict practice. The Buddha said that bhikkhus, I eat at a single session, ekasana bhojana. By so doing, I am free from illness and afflictions, and I enjoy lightness. Body is very light, and strength, and comfortable abiding. Can bhikkhus eat at a single session? just like me, right? Just like me. By so doing, you will be free from illness, affliction. You will enjoy lightness, strength, and comfortable abiding. So actually, if you look at here, so eating in a one session, a single session, right? If you sit down and you finish eating, when you get up, no more eating, right? That is one of the practice, very strict practice, right? Okay, up to here, you understand this precept? Question? Any question? Okay. Only this one, this precept. Then for singing, etc., I will go. Huh? Which one you want to question?
I want to question. Actually, my question is, let's say a person who observe 8 precepts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm speaking for myself. Actually, I break a few precepts by what you say. Because this precept is so strict, then I will actually break the few precepts. I don't eat at the appropriate time, but I just eat. I don't eat afternoon, but I eat after 12. Then it's considered a break precept.
Yeah,
so,
after.
So for a lay devotee, so it's better not to practice 8 precepts, to purify your mind, or to practice but you break it, but you learn to purify your mind. So then I really break so many because I do keep 8 precepts on Uposatha day. So I break my 3rd precept because I still touch my husband. I didn't know we cannot touch.
I mean, touching is okay. Touching is okay, but did you enjoy?
No, I have to call him.
It's okay, not breaking.
Because sometimes when you study sutta, you will sit and then you will ask.
Touching is okay, but you enjoy my husband.
Because so all these.
Very good question. I think a very good point. The question here is, we have 8 precepts, right? So you might break one of them, right?
Bhante, I break 4.
I did. Still okay. You still have 5, right? You still have another 4, right? 4 qualities.
Bhante, taking of these 8 precepts, can we take the breakfast?
Can you wait for a while? Let me finish the wait for a while, no? Because it's a very important point. Suppose you take a precept, right? You might break one of them, right? One of them. But there is a commentary. There is a just commentary mention, right? It's not a. Actually, for me, I don't like a match. Of course, this is a very how to say. Just share what the commentary said, right? Suppose you observe a precept and you observe one by one, right? One by one. I take I observe to refrain from killing, right? Then I observe precept not to steal, not to tell lie, right? And you observe one by one, reciting one by one, right? So if you are observing precept like this, then you might break one precept, right? One precept, then you still have 7. And you break 2 precepts, and you still have 6, right? But another method is you take precept. Suppose today I will take a precept, right? If you recite like this all together, right, without separating one by one. Today I will take a precept. I'm warm, right? Then I promise not to break a precept, right? So if you are taking precept all together, if you break one, all gone. There's no, actually, if you break even one precept, all the precepts gone, right? So I think a little bit logical, I may say that, right? A little bit logical. So that is what the commentary say, right? But I think that the reason we choose special day to observe precept, that is, we determine to keep precept on this particular day, right? Actually, sila have to be observed at all time, right? We have three type of sila. Sampata Vidati. Actually, in Abhidhamma we use Vidati, right? Sampata. You do not keep precept, and so there is a time or occasion that you have to kill sentient beings, right? Then you remember that Bhante Chakabala tell me that killing is not good. Then you remember that, then you refrain from killing sentient beings, right? It's called sampata, right? There is a time to tell lie that you remember telling lie is not good. Then without keeping precept, right? Then you refrain from it. Of course, this is a unique, a very strong determination, right? Another one is samadhana vidati. Samadhana means you keep precept, right? This morning you come to temple and you keep precept. Then in your office, you're supposed to tell lie to your customers, right? Then you noted that this morning you promised to keep precept, the temple, right? Then you refrain from it. Of course, keeping precept at the temple prevent you not to commit telling lie, right? Second one. And the last one is refraining, just like Arahant, right? Smoke cheda, total, I want to say, to the keeping of the precept, right? Whether even at the risk of your life, you will not take any, you will not break the sila, right? So such type of sila can be observed by Arahant, right? Not normal people, right? Normal people. Arahant, even they threaten their life, he will not break any precept, right? He will not break any precept. No excuse. And three types of sila, right? Question?
My question is, eating at a single section, and some of these, how about taking breakfast, breakfast and taking lunch just before noon?
It's not a eating in a single session. Here, eating in a single session means you sit down, suppose 12:30, right? 11 o'clock you sit down. If you get up, finish, not allowed to eat, right? Just sitting, right? Then you finish your lunch. Whether you have very important case, you have to get up. As soon as you change your posture, right? As soon as you change your position, you are not allowed to eat, right? So there are some monks who are following this way, right? So in Visuddhimagga, we have 30 of them, 30, right? Some monks, they just go Benapada, they just eat whatever they have in the bowl, right? No choosing, just like that. And some monks, they are not sleeping, right? They are not sleeping. So they observe very strictly. This morning, so one of the very strict meditation master died with the car accident. He strictly followed those very strict Vinaya rules. Even not sleeping, right? Even not sleeping. Then staying in the very small hut, like this, right? And luckily, because of car accident, he died this morning. So they're very strict, right? They're very strict. Okay, so here, eating at a single sashimi, just in one posture, right? If you sit down, then you don't have to change your posture, right? If you are eating by standing, you don't have to change it, right? But here, eating one meal satay you can eat only one meal, but you can change your portion, right? Is it slightly different, right? Slightly different. Okay.
Because I've seen my neighbor, she observed one meal a day, and she was very sick because her body cannot take it. So I think for a normal lay person, because we are not bhikkhu or bhikkhunis, all right? Because you have you stay in a temple, you are doing, but for a normal lay person, you still need to go to work, and you still need to have a normal commitment, and you also have husband, and I mean, if you observe this 8 precepts for a normal lay person, sometimes it may cause clashes in a family.
Yeah.
Because wife is strong Buddhist, has strong Buddhist thoughts. Husband is not. The husband is actually very angry of her when she only takes one meal a day, and then when he has to eat out in the evening when he is hungry, and so this causes family conflicts. So is it advisable for a lay person to follow the 8 precepts? My question is this.
Yeah, of course, advisable. Here, we are not practicing 8 precepts every day. We choose special days, right? You choose special days, especially full moon, new moon day, right? You observe only special days, not every day, right? So for that reason, actually, in the Buddhist countries, so they choose Uposatha day. They are not walking on that day. They are not walking. So they the whole day they stay in the temple, and they live quietly and they doing good deed, right? But of course, if you are living in the family at home, not really very difficult.
Yes, because especially if you have, like I said, you have husband, and then if you are observing, and then let's say your husband want to have intimation with you, and then it will cause a lot of conflict.
But of course, we before you observe, you have to explain or maybe get consent from husband, right?
Yeah, unless he is a believer in Buddhism.
I think whether believer or not, I think we have to discuss, right? I think must understand. Okay, let's go to the next topics. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Because we have to go a lot. And this one is much more interesting. Music and Buddhist, right? Music and Buddhist. I think there is very confusion between Buddhists. Singing, dancing, listening to music, enjoying shows and movie, etc. are perfectly alright for lay devotees, lay Buddhists. Perfectly alright for lay devotees. Very important, right? Unless you are observing a precept. If you are not observing a precept, you can enjoy music, you can watch movie, you can play guitar, you can go to cinema, even you can go to disco, right? KTV like this, right? Perfectly all right, right? Perfectly all right as a lay devotees. But if you are observing a precept, you totally have to refrain from that, right? That's very important. Another one, for Buddhist monks and nuns, all these entertainment and beautifying your body are not allowed. Entertainment, listening music, watching movie, playing guitars, any type of entertainments, not allowed. Right? Not allowed. I think you're sure, right? Clear, right? Clear. Tonight, this is for lay devotees, perfectly alright, right? You are not breaking sila. Among the 5 precepts, There is not mention about whether you enjoy music or whether you watch movie, whether you play music, play the guitar, etc. Right? And you can beautify yourself. You can use makeup, lipstick, perfume, everything, right? Perfectly all right. That's very important. But for the monks and nuns, for the monastics, not allowed to use any musical instruments, even to watch national parade, right? Nowhere to say movie or nowhere to say listening music, right? Listening music. For monastics and entertainments, this is what the Buddha taught in Anguttara Nikaya. The Buddha said, bhikkhus, in the noble one's discipline, that me in my sasana, the Buddha said, singing is wailing. As a Buddhist monk, the Buddha is talking to the monks, right? So in my sasana, the Buddha said that singing is wailing, not allowed to sing. So the Buddha laid down one winner rules. So when you are preaching the Dhamma, you don't have to chant like in music. So you don't have to chant like in music, but you can chant in a smoothing manner, right? Smoothing manner. You are not allowed to use musical instruments when you are doing puja. For that reason, in our temple, no musical instrument, right? No musical instrument. But of course, in Vissa period, Vissa days, we play the music, right? But of course, not for the monks, for lay devotees, right? For the lay devotees. As a Buddhist monk, not allowed to listen, even those one, right? Even those one. For that reason, the Buddha said, singing is a wailing. Singing is a wailing. Dancing is madness. Omataka is madness, crazy. Dancing, getting bad, getting worse, getting worse. So in the noble ones, the discipline of the Buddha, right? The discipline of the Buddha, the dancing is madness, right? Anguttara Nikaya, chapter 3, surah number 107. In the noble one's discipline, to laugh excessively, displaying one's teeth, is childishness. Even I laugh, showing my teeth. It's not proper, right? It's not proper. We can smile, not laughing at loudly, right? It is a childish manner, right? Here, I want to apologize if sometimes I did a childish manner, right? Laughing out loud. So it's not advisable, right? So we are not supposed to do. So we can smile, right? Mildly, not. So if we are laughing out loud, it's childishness, childishness. So yeah, if you look at this sutta, quite clear that the Buddha doesn't want singing, the Buddha doesn't want dancing, right? Childishness. In one of the sutta, from Sutta Nikaya, need to finish this one. Therefore, bhikkhus, in regard to singing and dancing, let there be the demolishing of the bridge. You don't have to do that, right? No excuse, no bargain. So you don't have to do singing, you don't have to do dancing, right? Demolishing of the bridge, right? Even you can't go there, right? There's a bridge, you have to demolish, right? Demolish. When you smile, rejoicing in the Dhamma, you may smile, you may simply show a smile, right? Suppose you like what somebody said. No. You know, we are the way we laugh is very childish. Eh? Very childish. So you may show simply, you may show a smile, right? You may show a smile. So that is what the Buddha said. In Sutta Nikaya, the Buddha mentioned one of the Sutta Nikaya, chapter 42, Sutta number 2. This is a very famous sutta, Talapuda. Talapuda is actually one of the artists approached to the Buddha, and he said that he heard that their forefathers said that as a artist, as a actor and actresses, so when they die, they will go to one type of heaven, right? One type of heaven. He is taking consent and agreement from the Buddha. Is it correct? And the Buddha say, no, don't ask me. Second time he said that, our forefather said that, as a artist and actor and actresses, as entertainers, if we die, we go to one type of heaven, right? He mentioned one type of heaven. The Buddha said, no, don't ask me. Then third time, ask. And the Buddha said that, no, what you say is not right. Those people go to hell, right? Go to hell. The reason is people have full of greed, right? Full of hatred, full of delusion. You make them, right, increase their greed, their hatred, their delusion, right? By making such unwholesome activities, go to hell. Right? I think this is a very controversial sutta. It's not very nice for the artist, right? Not artists, entertainers, right? How can I say entertainer? Just like actor and actresses, right? So, of course, if you are entertaining in a better way, right? To get lessons, to learn, right? It's all right. But if you are making a lot of movies and a lot of films that make people greedy and that make people angry and deluded, so you are creating a negative karma, right? In that sutta, it's very controversial sutta, right? So I don't know whether you believe or you don't believe. It doesn't. You just go and read, right? But I have to mention. Of course, some teacher doesn't want to mention this sutta. So in chapter 42, sutta number 2, right? But here, what I want to point out here is, if you are keeping a precept, not allowed to sing, right? Not only singing, purifying yourself, right? Playing music, any type of entertainment. Because the reason is, it increases your greed, right? So it arouses your mind to enjoy sensual pleasures, right? So if you are keeping a precept, you have to detach, right? Those sensual pleasures. You don't need to keep a precept all the time. You have to choose its specialties, right? Specialties. That is called uposatha. If you are keeping a precept, if you are recollecting the quality of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, generosity, your own virtual behavior, and the quality of the devas, then you are living close to the Osandit, right? Osandit. That is called Uposatha. Any question regarding with this one? Okay, good. Not only question, discussion as well.
Bhante, I'm just wondering, why is it that if you are keeping the 8 precepts, you
Yep.
cannot laugh excessively?
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what
Oh,
is
no. Actually, that one is not laughing at excessively. It's nothing to do with the 8 precept. That is
for monks.
instruction and teachings of the Buddha. Only singing and dancing,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
Singing and
okay.
dancing. But the Buddha is talking to the monks, not lay devotees, right?
Right. So monks monks are our role models.
Yeah.
For lay people, they are our role models.
Yeah.
So monks cannot laugh excessively. I
Yeah.
don't know what is the definition of excessively, because sometimes, laughter can be it can be a release, and you laugh because you genuinely appreciate, maybe the humor or the comedy, or sometimes if you see somebody doing something not so nice to you, and sometimes you laugh, so that, to tell yourself, it's okay lah, don't cling to it, so you laugh, maybe not so excessively, but I'm just wondering, why is it that you cannot laugh excessively? It is actually a release, and it's actually quite happiness to be able to laugh. But you don't laugh in the sense that, you are mindless. But you can laugh excessively, but in a fairly mindful manner too.
Yeah, of course, if you are looking from the bottom-up view, it's good. But if we are looking at top-down view, from the viewpoint of meditator, right? The man's supposed to be meditator, right? As I earlier said that, the Buddha is talking to the monks, right? So actually laughing is a type of, it's good for health, of course. But if you are living quietly and tranquilly, you don't need to laugh for your health.
I agree, because
So,
sometimes...
of course, this is for the monks. You might see a lot of San Dhamma speaker, and they can crack a lot of joke, and the audience are laughing at, right? Can you do in the meditation retreat?
No, and I think you're right, because
Right?
sometimes when I try to meditate, I laugh. And then once I laugh, I forget, I lose everything.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah,
right, when
yeah.
you're meditating, the laughter just breaks everything.
Yeah.
I think of a joke that ha 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 inside my heart, to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you, especially when
So
you
you
are
can
trying
compare,
to concentrate.
Ajahn Brahm Dhamma talk, the audience are laughing loudly, right? They like it. But he cannot make a lot of laughter in meditation retreat. So we have to look at in a the different level, right? Different level. Okay. Question regarding with the music? Okay.
Bhante, you say that monks and nuns are not encouraged, not allowed to sing. But we do have cases of a nun who sings and plays the guitars to spread the Dharma, or to singing.
It's not in accordance with the Pali Canon. It's not in accordance with the Pali Canon.
So, is it right or wrong then? Because
not in accordance with the Theravada Pali Canon. So what I want to say is, of course, there are many cases. The monks, they compose song and they listen music, they watch movie. Especially in Singapore, there are a lot of spiritual concert or religious concert, right? I think if we look at these suttas, if we look at the precept, surely not allowed. So as a lay devotees, a lay Buddhist, all right, right? So perfectly all right for as a Buddhist monks. If you are monastics, whether you are monks or nuns, not allowed to involve any type of entertainment. As I earlier said, that even go and see the national parade is a breaking with your rules, right? I think if you look at Brahmajala Sutta, the first Sutta of Digha Nikaya, and you were very clear, right? So the rules and regulations and sila that the monks have to observe, right? So all these are mentioned in the Brahmajala Sutta.
Thank you.
So of course there are two, all are not following, right? Not following. In our village, if a monk obtain a Dhamacharya degree, so the village celebrate congratulatory celebration. Right? So of course they were talk about good things about the one who got the degree, and they will hire music show, 2-night music shows. The whole night they were entertained, right? So actually, it's not in accordance with, you know, as a Buddhist, as a Buddhist monk, right? We shouldn't do that, but we are still doing that. But another monastery, we have 4 monasteries in our village. Another monastery is, if somebody got a degree, they will not hire musician. They will arrange Dhamma talk. So they follow the Vinaya rule strictly. Even in one village, right? 2 temples, they are following 2, how to say, one is going the other way. But we have to look at what the Buddha taught, right? So I think next lesson also I will talk, which is a contrary what we are practicing now, right? But we have to look at early teachings, right? So the original teachings of the Buddha. Let me go next one. Let's go next one. Very quick one. High-end luxury bed, right? I think I don't need to explain. You can go to this Sutta. In Goran Nikaya, chapter 3, Sutta number 63. The Buddha said that Brahmins, high-end luxury beds are really obtained by monks, right? If they are obtained, they are not allowed, right? They are not allowed. For monks, right? Not for lay devotees. But if you are keeping a precept, you also have to follow strictly. The Buddha said that what he has is a 3 type of luxury bed. One is celestial height and luxury bed. That is the 4 jhanas, right? The Buddha has 4 jhana. Actually, he can sleep well, right? Just like he has celestial luxury bed. Another one is the divine height and luxury bed. So that is living with the 4 sublime states, 4 Brahma Vihara, right? So the Buddha can stay with the loving kindness, compassion, or twisted joy and equanimity, right? For that reason, his mind is very peace and he can sleep well, right? Because he has a divine height luxury bed, right? The next one is the noble height luxury bed. So that means that he already abandoned greed, hatred, and delusion. For that reason, every time, as soon as he closes his eye, can sleep well, right? So that is the Buddha's luxury bed. Nothing to do with the material matter, right? Material one. Okay, so next week will be the last lesson. So thank you for coming. So let's close the day. Yo varatan bhavaro manu jesu sak kya muni bhagavakata kecho paragato bala viriya samangi tan sukatan saranatamu Ragavi Ragamani Jamasokan Dhammama Sangata Mapatikulan Madurami Mambagunan Suvipatan Dhammami mansaranatamu Yataja nama apalamahu Chatusu sisu purisayugesu Ataja bogala Dhammata sati Sangami mansara natamu pemi Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night everyone.